so much weight on my shoulders, enough to knock me out, but I'm still holding the throne.
Hello everybody, Harvey Talks Prison here. I'm back after 2 weeks. I want to thank, first of all, Mark and Tashanka Whitco and Adam for letting me get on their lives and stuff and supporting me while I was up on this ban, this strike, and all the subscribers who have supported me and wished me well. But anyway, it's kind of a good thing because I kind of got a rest from this, even though I still made videos. But I made videos and I got them where they're ready to go. Also, I did other things. I got on Quora. It was on Quora that I saw this question that I answered, and I think this is what we're going to talk about. The question was, what is life? How is it like starting life after prison, after doing a long time? That's different than most questions. Most questions says, what's it like getting out of prison, technology and all this and that. This was different, and they're wanting to know, what they was wanting to know was how, personally, how was it starting life, jobs, all this and that. And so I answered it, and that's what I'm going to do here today. When you're in prison for a long time, you get used to the everyday life, kind of get accustomed to it. Doesn't mean you like it. You just go about your daily life in prison. And yes, you miss things. You miss little things you don't think about out here that you take for granted. You miss in prison. Even just a ride in the car, going to the store, whatever. It's like I told them on there. I missed the smell of freshly mowed grass. In prison, it was mowed usually while it was locked down. And most of some prisons, the prisoners do the mowing. But at South Central Correctional Center, it was a staff that mowed. Recreation staff or maintenance. Anyway, when I got out of prison, I did not realize I missed these things, but I did not realize how much I missed them until I got out. And then when I got out, it just all hit home. I mean, like a ton of bricks. This was what I was missing. I ain't talking about the technology and all that stuff. Yeah, I missed all that too, because I didn't really miss it because I never knew about it before I went to prison. There wasn't no internet or anything. And I get out and there's the internet and stuff. I'm talking about things that were around when I went to prison, and then I get out and I'm seeing it again. In prison we drank instant coffee. Man, it was good smelling. Coffee brewing in the morning. Being able to walk outside, drink a cup of coffee, and just see things going on, I can't describe it. And it's just, I wish I could put it in words and make it so you guys can feel that, It's true what they say, that the grass is always greener on the other side. And that applies to prison too. You get out, the grass is different than it is in prison. If you kind of can make sense of what I'm trying to say here. I can't just, people mowing, going about their daily lives, you don't realize how much you miss that until you get out. So, one of the things I want to say here is to young people who are messing up. They think their mommy and daddy are going to get them out of it. That's not always going to be the case. You may end up in prison. You're going around doing these stupid things. And then you're going to miss out on birthdays, holidays. Your family's going to be hurting because you ain't going to be there for the holidays or birthdays or this and that. You're not going to realize how much. Oh, you're going to miss those things. But you ain't going to realize how much until you get out and it's going to hit you like. Me, anyway, it was just full force, you know. I miss little things like riding in a car, going into a store, although I get paranoid in stores if they're crowded. But you know what I'm saying. It's not worth it. It's not worth going to prison, you know. And people say, well, in your case it's different. You went to prison for protecting your brother. Yeah, that's true. I will never regret protecting my little brother. But I do regret my actions and the pain it caused everybody. It didn't, not just my family, not just that person's family, but the whole community. They were shocked. Some of them was in disbelief. And it pained everybody that knew me and my family. It pained, caused them a lot of pain and grief. So that's the things you got to think about. And when you destroy lives, you know, going to prison. You don't think you do. And some of this I didn't realize until I got out. I knew my family was hurting and everything for what I did. But I did not know the extent of the pain I caused people. And I often think, was there anything I could have done different to protect my brother? I don't know. I do know that I told my parents. They didn't believe me. I told a retired cop. He went back and told my parents. Maybe I should have just kept telling people till somebody listened. Either way, that's all done. I'm here to tell you guys that prison is not worth it. And when you go out in that yard, your lawyer, your parents, mommy and daddy, they're not going to be there. It's going to just be you. I'm saying this, and others have said this too. We don't get on here and talk just because we like hearing ourselves. We don't tell these stories because we're trying to glorify prison. We're not trying to glorify prison. We're trying to keep you guys from making the mistakes we made. Some people have asked, it was in this comments of this section on Quora. Well, what about jobs? It's funny because it was kind of hard to find a job. I finally got one after about a year, but I would go into a store and it would say, you know, or some place of business that said now hiring, and I'd go in there and they'd say, oh, we're not hiring. You know, just look at the sign, now hiring. And some of them would say, oh, we forgot to take that down. You know. But my PO recommended me going to this turkey farm. And I got out in November, and this is in December when he told me. And keep this in mind. So I go to this turkey farm, and the guy asked me, he said, who recommended you? I said, my PO. I was completely honest with him. And he goes, I ain't got a problem hiring you. He goes, half the people working here are ex-cons. You can go talk to them if you want. If you want to go talk to them, we'll go talk to them. I said, no, it's okay. He goes, the problem is, last month was Thanksgiving. we're almost out of turkeys. We don't really need no workers anymore. He goes, but come back in a few months and I'll hire you. So, if there's any ex-cons getting out and they're down around Pleasant Hope, Missouri, that's a little ways from here, you might want to try that place out. They might hire you. Unless it's right after Thanksgiving. Anyway, I want ex-cons to know. Do not get out. Just you staying out of prison is a success. Look at what, a lot of ex-cons get out and they look at him and say, oh, I'm a failure. I had one tell me that one time. I'm a failure. That's no. You think like that, you will be. Don't think of yourself a failure. As long as you're staying out of prison, it's a success. Don't go back and prove everybody right. And he told me later that he said, man, that talk we had helped me. He finally got a job. He said it's not the best job that he wants, but he's got a job. And I said, well, you just work it from there, And so anyway, that was my message for today. That's my story. And I want to thank people on Personal Core who asked that question, because and to me, it was a very good question. I thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.